Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're going to be fixing this 2020 Mercedes Actros. As you can see, it's been hit in the front. I think what happened to it, the car was overtaking this lorry and got head on with some other vehicle and been pushed into this front of this Merc. So what we're going to do, we're going to strip it all, and no doubt the chassis is bent, guys, because as you can stand in the front, you can see how this side is actually lower, and all inside there is all damaged, the rads and everything else all pushed in or bent. So I think we're going to strip it all first. No doubt the cap will have to come off. It's not actually awful lot damage on the cap, apart of this door being damaged and a few bits and trims around this side that's all been pushed up. Apart of that, it looks pretty good. It's a bit of a scrape on that exhaust cover and the wheel trim, but no doubt obviously the chassis is bent. Like you can see, it's broke that crossbar. It's supposed to be bar like this across the front, so it's actually ripped that off completely. So the chassis is probably badly damaged. And what we're going to do, like I said, we're going to take the cab off or strip it all, because we're going to need some bits to order. And we already got the two Merc trucks in the workshop, and we've been waiting for bits now for a long time on the back order now. I would say this is going to be a long process of fixing this truck. The amount of parts we're going to need for this front end is ridiculous. This makes are made with lots of parts in the front end, as some of you guys probably know. It's overkill and probably too many parts in the front. So no doubt we're going to wait months or weeks or months, like I said, months for some parts. So it's going to be a long process of fixing this truck, and we're going to make a start on it. So let's do it. Right guys, I had a bit of strip, but it don't looking very good, to be honest. I took this corner off, which is over there, I'll show you in a minute, and looks like this cast bracket, spring hanger bracket, is all folded, bent. It's supposed to be straight, but I'm not sure. It's supposed to be straight, but that's pushed back. That chassis behind there, don't know if you're going to see it, but hooked up on the cable, sorry. Hooked up, typical. Right, this chassis here, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. That chassis there should be straight, but it's all bent behind the shock absorber. Hard hard to show you now, guys, because there's so many stuff in that hole in there. But it looks like all this cast bracket, when the spring is actually bolted into it, that's the end of the chassis. But the chassis actually finishes here. But as you can see on that chassis, it's supposed to be straight, but I don't know if you see it. It's all bent. I'll show you probably more later. But everywhere you look, it's all bent. Even the other side, even this cast looks like it's bent over. So it's all well bent. But to be honest, I'm not looking forward to strip this and fix it, because the parts is gonna be hundreds of items. You're gonna need hundreds, and it looks like it's gonna be thousands in them brackets. It's like this step. This is the step is bolted to this. That's bolted into, that bolts onto this area there, and this step is bolted to it. But as you can see, it's like over engineered, in the bracket after bracket. You've got one bracket there. Then Merck thought, oh, let's put something inside and probably make cool. There is another two brackets bolted to it. Then don't forget, oh, there's something else. Oh, let's put a bracket for the horn there. Or them ends. Them ends are actually bolted separate. So you're probably gonna need 20 parts before you start. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Some of the parts obviously there. Some of you probably have seen this kind of bracket. This been on the vehicles from probably 10-20 years ago. So they just upgraded it by adding more bits and more bits and more bits on it. So it's just ridiculously. But yeah, looks all bent. The chassis is definitely bent, and we're gonna have an engine out. Looks like that chassis is well kinked under there. So let's strip it more. Let's do it. Right guys, I've got a bit more strip there. I think you'll be able to see better this chassis. As you can tell, that chassis there, that chassis is supposed to be straight on the end, but it's like bending that way, and the kink in the chassis is clearly visible now behind the shock absorber. And obviously this end is over that side. So, and I tried, obviously took everything off this side, all them there's them panels here, there's things in there. I tried to keep everything in one, because as you can see, everything you touch is like lots of bits attached to it. So I just have to keep it all in one for time being. No doubt I'm gonna go the other side, strip all the plastics off, but I'm not going to show you because it's all deckled up the other side. And I think they might try to get this rads off, and I actually put this potter power in the front here because the shock absorber is snapped, so I can gently jack the cab up, because if I didn't put this on, this obviously will put in more pressure and you will just like push down a bit. So that's why I just got this potter power holding it in place when I gently jack it all up. I'm going to strip the other side, then we probably have to take the rads out or the cab. I'm not sure what we're going to do next, but I think we need to do some kind of rough estimate on it, because someone is asking how much roughly is that's going to cost. So let's do it. Alright guys, it's actually next day here. Yesterday I stripped everything and chopped this intercooler in half, and today the new shock absorber arrived. So I put that on so I could actually jack the cab safely up. I know it's still pretty much safe because it's still attached to the bracket there, but the shocker needs to be there for jacking it right over. And obviously we took the rads out and I actually built everything back up, so I know whatever is damaged, whatever was missing, and as you can see everywhere you look is just a mess. And some of these brackets may be a bit okay, but some of this side is all bent and damaged, so we need to order them bits. And what we're going to do now, as you probably see, that chassis there, I don't know if you're going to see it, yeah, that chassis there, that's supposed to be a straight. That chassis there is supposed to be a straight. That's all how bent that is. And this side, it's, I think you might just see it, yeah, it is just like curve on the top of that. It's like a curve, you can just see it. So definitely both them chassis legs are round. And before we start doing anything, we're not going to take the cab off till we get all the parts for the front end for the chassis, because last thing we want to do is take the cab off and obviously the chassis won't be moving, we won't be able to move, and we're going to wait for the parts months or a few weeks, at least months. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to get the Merc guy here. I think he's coming tomorrow. Sam already spoke to someone. He's coming here to have a look, because like I said, we're going to need this front cross member. We're going to need probably them two casts ends, because we hard to tell if they are bent, but obviously we're fixing the chassis, so everything have to be new. So both of them have to be fixed, have to be replaced, and it's like an extra metal plate which goes that, yeah, that's the metal plate there. That needs to be replaced because like pulled to the side, both sides the same. We're gonna get them ordered, and that spring hanger there, all this, that's supposed to be a straight. This piece, that's supposed to be a flat. That's all pushed back, and this is all for the spring, suspension spring there. So this is all the cast bracket what we need to replace as well. So we need to order them bits first, and obviously the underrun bar was supposed to be on the day. It's only a bit left of it. It's supposed to be like an alley big thick underrun bar, and I'm not sure if we're gonna get this one maybe as well, this bar there. So we'll make sure everything is for the front squared up. And when I'm looking at it, probably when that chassis is pulled round, wonder if any of them arms are bent, because this arm, when the cab sits on, they are actually bolted to this cap bar. Probably this have to be replaced, this cap bar. So there are lots of parts we need before we try to disassemble this truck, because like I said, definitely the engine have to come out to fix that chassis. And it's quite bad, obviously it's quite bad there, and you've seen this kink in the chassis there already, which obviously to fix something like this, obviously you need to go from inside and outside, and the chassis people will know, but they definitely we need to have an engine out, especially being not that much round, and this side is curved as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to get this probably get a bit ordered and leave it till at least we can move it in and out still, where we can drive it out if we need to drive it outside, park it up. So we're going to get a bit ordered and we go from there. As soon as we got the bits, we can probably take the cab off, strip the engine, and get this chassis ready to be sent to chassisalignment.co.uk for the boys. And like I said, there might be some damage under this catwalk. I'm gonna just quickly strip that off and have a look on the chassis, how bad it is from the back end, because I don't know if you'll be able to see anything now. Probably not being built like that. No, I don't think you're gonna see anything. All them senders, look at them guys. Obviously this is the runner prams. They don't have a bar across there just to try to save the weight maybe. And every truck we've seen, they bend. Every truck of the Mercs, they all bend like that. I don't know. The Merc is just designed this chassis obviously with lots of holes. This chassis is all the way like that, and I don't know what's the reason for it. Try to save the weight. They could probably save the weight, lots of weight. The design in the front end a bit different, not bracket after bracket. Right guys, so I think that's gonna be it for today's video, and thank you guys for watching. See you for the next one.